Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers and sisters. Are you in search of a dependable and enriching platform to deepen your understanding of Islam? Look no further, as One Islam TV is here for you. With a vast library of engaging and educational Islamic content, our app is designed to bring the beauty of Islam right to your fingertips. Download the app now and begin your free trial today to embark on a transformative journey of knowledge and faith. Today, I want to dedicate this talk to an extraordinary individual, a figure mentioned multiple times in the Quran. Her life, filled with lessons and wisdom, continues to inspire countless hearts. My decision to reflect on aspects of her life today stems from a question posed to me earlier this week. A sister approached me, sharing her spiritual journey, a story both touching and profound. Since her childhood, she had cultivated a strong, unwavering bond with Allah. She would turn to Him with heartfelt supplications, often finding solace and solutions in His divine response. Even during her teenage years, she consistently prayed and sought Allah's help, and to her amazement, her du'as were answered. Despite enduring a difficult life, having lost her father at an early age and growing up without siblings, this woman placed her trust entirely in Allah. Through her steadfast devotion, she experienced countless miracles, witnessing how Allah answered her prayers in remarkable ways. Anytime she faced a need, she would perform 2 rakats of salah, pour her heart out in dua, and Allah would grant her what she sought. This profound connection was a cornerstone of her life, strengthening her reliance on Allah. However, she found herself in a dilemma when, more recently, her life took an unexpected turn. A series of challenges arose, and despite increasing her worship and supplications, her difficulties only seemed to worsen. She began to wonder, why is Allah not answering me anymore? Have I done something wrong? Am I no longer deserving of His mercy? Her question deeply resonated with me, and it reminded me of a profound story from the Quran, the story of Maryam, A.S., one of the most revered women in Islamic history. Maryam's life offers lessons on unwavering faith, perseverance through trials, and trusting Allah's wisdom even in the face of adversity. Maryam's story, a life of devotion and trials. Maryam's birth was unique, and her story begins long before she was even born. Her mother had prayed fervently for a child and vowed to dedicate the child to Allah's service. However, when Maryam was born, her mother was surprised, as she had expected a son. Yet Allah reminded her, the male is not like the female, emphasizing that Maryam was unlike anyone else, special, chosen, and destined for greatness. From a young age, Maryam was placed under the guardianship of Prophet Zachariah, A.S., and lived in the house of Allah, where she devoted herself to worship. Her piety was unmatched, and even Zachariah, A.S., was amazed by her devotion. He often found miraculous provisions in her care, fruits out of season and sustenance that could only have come from Allah. Maryam's unwavering connection with Allah was evident, yet her life was far from free of trials. One of the most significant challenges she faced came when the angels delivered an extraordinary message. She would bear a child, despite being unmarried and untouched by any man. Her response to unimaginable trials. Maryam, shocked and overwhelmed, asked, "How can I have a child when no man has touched me?" The response was firm. "This is what your Lord has decreed." She was left to bear this responsibility and face the consequences alone. When she returned to her community with her newborn son, the people she once held in high regard turned against her. Accusations flew, and the humiliation she endured was beyond what most of us could ever imagine. In the face of such a trial, Maryam felt despair so deep that she wished for death, saying, I wish I had died before this and been completely forgotten. A lesson in resilience and trust in Allah. Maryam's story highlights an essential truth. Even the most pious and beloved servants of Allah face immense challenges. Her example reminds us that trials are not a sign of Allah's displeasure. Rather, they are opportunities for growth, elevation, and a chance to draw closer to Him. Her response teaches us patience and reliance on Allah. She bore her trials with dignity, trusting that Allah's wisdom was far greater than the judgment of her community. Eventually, the very child she was accused of bearing illegitimately, Prophet Isa, a.s., became one of the greatest messengers of Allah. Connecting her story to our lives. Dear brothers and sisters like Maryam, a.s., many of us face moments when our du'as seem unanswered. Whether it's a parent praying for a child praying for a parent, or someone seeking relief from financial, health, or personal struggles, know that Allah hears every call. The delay in response does not mean rejection. Instead, it is a test of our faith and trust in His divine plan. Prophets too experienced unanswered prayers. Prophet Nuh, a.s., prayed for his son. Prophet Yaqub, a.s., wept for years for Yusuf, a.s., and our beloved Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu, endured rejection from his own people despite his tireless efforts. The true purpose of dua is not just a means to get what we want. It is a way to connect with Allah. It is an act of worship that reminds us of our dependence on Him. Through dua, we acknowledge our limitations and turn to the One who is limitless. Even when our circumstances don't change immediately, the act of making dua transforms us. It strengthens our faith, brings peace to our hearts, and reassures us that we are never alone. Closing reflection. Maryam's story is a testament to the fact that dignity and honor come from Allah alone. No matter how much people try to humiliate or belittle us, their opinions hold no weight in comparison to Allah's view of us. If people judged Maryam, Allah elevated her. Her legacy as one of the greatest women in history is eternal. May Allah grant us the strength to endure our trials, the patience to trust His wisdom, and the ability to find solace in dua. And may He make us among those who are honored in His eyes. Practical takeaways from Maryam's life. Maryam's journey provides us with timeless lessons that we can apply in our daily lives. Let's delve deeper into some of these takeaways. 1. Trust Allah's plan, even when it's unclear. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes we find ourselves questioning the events that unfold. Maryam was a devout worshipper, yet her greatest trial came in the form of carrying a child without being married. This monumental test could have shattered anyone's resolve, yet Maryam placed her complete trust in Allah. When we face unexpected challenges, we must remember that Allah's plan is greater than our understanding. Trusting His wisdom, even in the darkest of times, allows us to find peace amidst uncertainty. Action step. Reflect on a challenging time in your life where you questioned Allah's plan. How did the situation ultimately shape your faith or personal growth? 2. Patience and perseverance are keys to success. Maryam's patience in dealing with societal judgment and isolation is a beacon for us all. In the face of hardship, it's natural to feel overwhelmed or disheartened. However, patience is not merely about enduring, it's about maintaining faith and dignity while waiting for Allah's relief. Action. Step. When you feel frustrated by delays or difficulties, remember Maryam's story. Make a list of blessings in your life to help shift your focus from what's missing to what you already have. 3. The importance of turning to Allah in times of need. When Maryam, a.s., gave birth to Isa, a.s., she was utterly alone. In her moment of despair, Allah reminded her to take action by shaking the trunk of the palm tree to receive its fruits. This action teaches us that while we rely on Allah, we must also put in our own effort. Action step: combine dua with effort. Whether it's studying for exams, searching for a job, or mending a relationship, take proactive steps while praying for Allah's guidance and success. Fourth, dignity comes from Allah alone. Despite the false accusations and humiliation she endured, Maryam's honor was preserved by Allah. Her story reminds us that human judgment is fleeting and insignificant in comparison to Allah's ultimate validation. Action step: seek Allah's approval in your actions rather than chasing societal validation. Remember, your worth is determined by your faith and character, not by the opinions of others. 5. Dua as a lifeline to Allah. The sister's story we discussed earlier mirrors a common experience, feeling as though our duas go unanswered. This is a test of perseverance in faith. Maryam, A.S., teaches us that while immediate relief may not always come, Allah never abandons His servants. Action step: set aside dedicated time each day for heartfelt dua. Speak to Allah as you would to a close friend, sharing your fears, hopes, and gratitude. A legacy of faith and resilience. Maryam's life is a powerful example of how a single person's steadfast faith can inspire countless generations. Her unwavering commitment to Allah, even under the harshest scrutiny, left a legacy of purity, strength, and devotion. Action step: think about the legacy you want to leave behind. Are your actions today reflecting the values you wish to be remembered for? Reassurance for the questioning. Heart for the sister who felt her connection to Allah had weakened, and for anyone who feels similarly, know this: Allah's love for you is infinite. Just because the response to your dua is delayed does not mean you are forgotten. It might mean Allah is preparing you for something far greater than what you are asking for. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "There is no Muslim who calls upon Allah in a dua that contains no sin or breaking of family ties, except that Allah will give him one of three things. He will either answer his dua immediately, delay it to grant it later, or divert an equivalent harm away from him." Sunan al-Tirmidhi 3604. Even in silence, Allah is answering your call in ways you may not yet perceive. Final reflections. The story of Maryam, A.S., is a reminder that trials are not a punishment, but rather a means of drawing closer to Allah. When life feels overwhelming, let her story inspire you to persevere. Trust in Allah's wisdom, hold steadfast in your faith, and never underestimate the power of dua. May Allah grant us the strength to emulate Maryam's patience, the wisdom to trust His plans, and the steadfastness to face life's trials with dignity. Jazakum Allahu khairan for listening, and may Allah bless you all abundantly.